Coming up, we discuss more on new surge, Uber testing a new feature, service animals, and more. A special thanks to JT Legal Group. They can be reached by phone at 888-542-6351 or click the link at our website at kingofuber.com. From Southern and Central California, you're listening to the King of Uber podcast. This is episode 74. And here he is, the King of Uber, Johnny.
Welcome to another boring episode of the King of Uber. My name is Johnny.
Oh my goodness.
It's supposed to be more like, hi, my name is Johnny. Welcome to another boring episode of King of Uber.
Well,
I'm here with my two co-hosts, Dolph and Lonnie. Say hi. Hi.
you guys are so dorky. Anyway, my neighbor's dogs are barking. It's nighttime. It's past my bedtime, but we're here for all you listeners that always want to hear our opinions about things. And yeah,
Johnny's wired.
I'm not. I've been super tired lately. My sleeping has been off a lot. I've had some late night pickups, early morning pickups, so I've been like sleeping just a few hours here and there. Been taking long naps in the afternoon. So this is how I am today. Woo woo.
Hooray.
Yeah. So anyway, just a few things we should cover on. Let's see. We're coming into October. Daylight savings is coming up soon.
Well, it's I guess the ending of daylight saving.
That's what I meant. Isn't that what I just said?
No, you just said that daylight savings was coming on soon.
No,
wait,
coming
has it
off.
changed already?
Coming off.
No. I think it's like the first Saturday of November.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We got a while. Okay.
So we have a month.
Yeah, good month.
But do you know what happens when we go back, daylight saving goes off? Do you know what happens, right?
Yes, the cows run into cars.
No, we get more Uber After Dark stories.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Because it gets darker earlier.
Did
see.
anyone even enjoy that last episode of
Which last
one?
episode?
69?
Everyone enjoys 69.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, actually, it's actually the second most downloaded episode.
Really?
Is
What's
it
our first
really?
downloaded?
Yeah, well, the first one is episode 1, and everyone is curious from the very beginning. But you know what? I say if you're just joining the show, you can skip episode 1. Just start from 69 on.
That was a year ago when we weren't veterans and doing this podcast thing. I think it was it was my first time ever doing a podcast. It's still my first time doing a podcast.
Yeah,
So far to date, I'm still enjoying it.
Yeah, this is actually we're coming up to our 1-year anniversary of doing the podcast. I think.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah, we are.
Oh my goodness.
Should celebrate. I don't know.
Wow.
We
Well,
should just,
see, Dolph was here over the weekend. Him and I were both in LA, and him and I both didn't meet up and go to our favorite Olive Garden place where they have my special $10.99 all-you-can-eat spaghetti deal going on right now. So I'm very upset at Dolph. So if I ignore you today, Dolph, do you know why?
So why do you ignore me every time else? That's the other question.
I'm sorry, were you talking to me? Anyways, so what's going on?
Not
Let's
much.
talk about let's
What's
talk
going on?
about your Friday, Saturday, Sunday driving in LA. How was that experience?
All right. Well, I was down here because I had a few gigs.
Ooh, what gigs?
They were singing gigs. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah. And Friday, I started driving probably about 3 o'clock, drove into midnight. And that was, I wish it was better than I did. But I also had to, I was kind of worried because I had to wake up early the next morning too for other things. So how do I compare LA now versus the way I used to know it?
The real question is, how many Uber dollars did you make over the weekend?
Yeah, that's a good question. And how many
man.
LAX rides did you do?
And question number 2, on a scale of 1 to 10, what number whore were you?
69.
That's gross, man.
Wow.
Actually, okay, so I worked on Friday and I worked on Saturday and I went home on Sunday, but I did not do any driving on Sunday. And Friday I made 140 and on Saturday I made $296.
Oh.
Ballin'.
And your experience, how did you feel about it?
You know, I thought it was actually refreshing to be able to get rides. Because, you know, in Santa Barbara and Santa Barbara County, and same thing with Ventura County, there is a lot of waiting around. So in lieu of actual like better pay in Santa Barbara, LA actually has more rides.
Of course.
Of course.
I still do not like the idea that we get paid 60 cents a mile or 64 cents a mile. But I have kind of noticed that it does make up in the time.
Yes. I've been saying that all
Now,
along.
well, I also think it has something to do with when I started, I was on the 20% cut as opposed to the 25% cut. So that 5% does make a huge difference, I think.
That extra 4 cents and that extra penny and a half.
It does. Yeah.
Well, yeah. If you're whoring it out there long enough, of course it makes sense.
Well, it also counts when you're doing surge driving or surge whoring.
So there's a lot of people still on social media asking about how the surge works. I wish, if they would have listened to our last episode, they would understand it, but I guess they don't. Do you want to elaborate a little bit more on that, Dolph?
Okay, let's preface something by saying what you get paid has nothing to do with what the passenger pays.
I know.
Or
Yeah,
vice versa.
that's a really, really good point, because people keep on saying that they get screwed on rides like that, but you gotta let it go, guys.
Yeah. There's no percentage. There's no anything. We as drivers, we get paid a per mile, per minute payment. And if you happen to be in a surge area, you get a plus dollar amount attached, right?
Okay, so I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
So what is like the average hours that you would have to work on a Saturday now with these prices?
It's still the same.
Yeah, it's the same.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
So
actually,
let's take for instance, a lot of people work the Ohana Festival down Dana Point.
oh yeah,
And let's say you got like a $12 surge, and let's say it went 15, 20 miles, but it took you a lot of time to get out of traffic and everything. And you go those 15, 20 miles, Uber just doesn't pay you the plus 12. They add a surge to it also, so that, you're still getting paid a surge amount. If it's only a short ride, you get the plus $12.
Yeah.
Or whatever plus amount you got. So let's say a $4 plus $4 or plus $5. You might want to calculate that as a 1.3 if it goes somewhere very far, or a medium distance. So the only time the plus dollar amount affects you is if the surge goes away, and then you get that notification that says on your next ride you get plus $4, and you get a 45 plus. You're only going to get the $4 because the surge is gone.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you get that call while the surge is still going on, or if it goes up or a little bit down, then Uber's going to end up paying you a little bit more money.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and the beautiful thing is that, the Uber's going to give you that plus dollar amount on your next ride, regardless of the surge you got. Okay, that is the upside. There is a downside to it, though, is that plus dollar amount only applies to your next ping, and you complete that ride. Okay, what do I mean by that? If you cancel, you don't get that plus $4 or plus $5.
Or if the customer cancels, you don't get that plus
exactly
either.
Or let's say you accidentally miss that ping. Your Uber app's on in the background, and then you flip over and you can't get that ping, then you lose that as well. And then the other rule is if you log off, you lose the plus dollar amount.
Well, that should be a given.
But
we just want to make everything clear so that everyone understands.
Mm-hmm.
For you guys, if you see other people posting this stuff on our Facebook page, tell them, go listen to the King of Uber podcast. Tell them to get ahead of everything. I know that everyone that listens to our podcast are always ahead of the curve of all the other drivers. I commend all you guys that invest the 25 minutes of our podcast to listen, and we do try to make it entertaining and stuff, but I truly do believe that we do have good information to give out.
Mm-hmm. And I also want to...
Dolph and I have good information. Lonnie just kind of has a female voice on the podcast.
It's not my expertise. Sorry.
Well, I want to congratulate the guys that were down at Dana Point and got the plus $50 on Select, because that's awesome. Did you see that, guys?
I did, but I heard a lot of people didn't get those things.
No, and that's the thing is that it's like winning some kind of lottery. But so what happened was that they got down there and they got the plus $50, right? And the surge just went away. And then all of a sudden they get a mile ride, ride just pretty much right up the street. And they made out like bandits. They actually got base fare of Select plus $50. And the passengers only paid, what was it, $20 minimum for for a Select ride. So Uber loses like $30 or something like that. That is awesome.
That's all right.
That's actually an example of what the passenger is paying has nothing to do with what you're paid. Yeah, so
you also have to remember, Dolph, that Uber is always used to losing money. So
Now the thing is, let's also remember this is the first week that this is happening. So there are probably going to be some tweaks happening. Once.
Well, no,
Uber.
I don't think there will be tweaks happening just because it's been going on in all the other parts of the United States, but us.
Well, no. Yeah, it has been. And the thing is that now when it first started here in Santa Barbara, we kind of found the advantages of it and not the non-advantages of it. And then all of a sudden, it hardly ever surges in Santa Barbara. So I'm worried about LA and Orange County in the future, but right now, enjoy it.
I don't think it's really going to change. They're not going to tweak it at all. There's too many other counties, like San Diego's they've had it for over a year now, so they're going to use that same concept. So I think we're going to be fine. What other big news do we have going on with Uber or Lyft?
Yeah, what big news?
Oh, this one's interesting. So Uber is testing feature that lets uncomfortable passengers tape ride. So basically, if they feel uncomfortable, they see a button on the app, they push it, and it starts recording the ride, what's going on. And that'll be sent to Uber. Now, I guess it's a safety feature because apparently Uber drivers have killed passengers in the past or shot.
They have?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Really?
it's not a
This
laughing
is not
matter,
a dangerous
Johnny.
job at all.
Stop laughing.
It's not a dangerous job at all, that what we do.
No. But yeah, it's they're going to test it out in small markets, obviously. I don't think it's going to come to California. Because California is that's going to be a mistake. We're a two-party consent state, and I can't foresee them figuring out how to record rides. And when you have a video footage of a ride, they never want to see it at all. So they don't want anything to do with that. Yeah. So
Well, it's also in our terms of contract that we're not allowed to record and put it up on the internet.
yeah, but at the same time, if something happens on a ride, they don't want to see it. It's just, even though it could prove your innocence, it's really, honestly, I think when it comes to cameras, they protect you kind of like security staging at the airport. It doesn't stop terrorists, but it makes people feel
Maybe
safe.
it's more for more legal aspects. Maybe if it was something severely serious, or it has to go to court or something.
Maybe,
perhaps.
Well, for drivers, I always think it's very smart to have a camera in your car to record things, just so that you can protect yourself. Especially now, if we do become employees, it's okay because you have proof that you did nothing wrong, and they fire you for some reason. Well, you could sue, suspend you for a day. You could ask for lost wages. There's a lot of things that you could do.
Yeah.
So, you want to keep that in mind. You and I were talking about something else earlier.
Was it discrimination of
that's
minorities?
right.
And
Right. So I guess they did a study, and I guess the passengers that get most canceled are the African Americans and the LGBTQ community.
How can you even tell? I mean, because we've
tell?
talked
Because
about
the African Americans are black.
I know, but how we used to talk about kind of peeping out the passenger before even accepting it, right?
No, these are cancels, not declining.
Oh, okay.
So basically, you see the name.
Look, if you're gonna go pick up a Shaniqua or something like that, I think most people know that's probably gonna be a black person. To be honest with you, it's just like if you go pick up Jose, it's probably gonna be a Mexican person. If you go pick up that means somebody threw utensils at the wall. Okay, I mean, you guys don't know that joke, do you?
No, I don't know.
So how do Chinese people name their kids?
I don't
How?
even want to know.
So they grab a handful of utensils, throw on the wall, and whatever sound it makes is what name their kids are named.
Wow.
Ting tong, whoop ta ta.
I would just like to point out Johnny's Asian, so he can make that joke.
Wait, I'm Asian?
Super.
I can't believe you guys have never heard that joke.
No, never.
Well, you learned something new.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep,
God.
yep. So my parents threw chopsticks at the wall, and it came out Johnny.
Wow.
Anyway, can't believe you guys never heard that joke.
No, never.
It must be an Asian thing.
We're not Asian enough, I guess.
I'm a different type of Asian, unfortunately.
Exactly.
We're the Mexicans of Asians.
Yeah, pretty much.
I will.
Pretty much.
I'll attest to that.
Anyway, what I don't understand, let's say if you are gay, why are you drivers working West Hollywood then? Mm-hmm. Right? But as a driver, as a person that doesn't discriminate, I think we should all pick up everybody. Yes, in my classes, I might tell you something different, and but we're on air, so I have to tell you what's politically correct.
Oh my gosh.
Why are you laughing?
It's funny because it's true.
Everybody needs a ride. I don't know if you guys heard, but I guess they're gonna start finding people that have a service dog or service animal.
Oh,
If
service
people claim
animal
they have
fraud.
service animals. Yeah, they're gonna
Yes.
start finding them. I guess that's the bill that's gonna have to
Oh,
pass for
really?
$500. Yeah.
I just
There's a lot
don't
of
see
people
how
do
that's
it.
going to be enforced with Uber drivers or Lyft drivers.
Yeah, I don't know either. But you know, I actually have friends that own dogs that have those service animal vests.
Mhm.
They have the emotional support dog vest, and they use it.
Mhm.
But they also have dogs that are well behaved, so it's a different story. But yeah, it's kind of interesting that that's going to happen. I still think there's only 2 questions you're allowed to ask if somebody has a dog. I think one of it is a service animal, and what's the other one?
Is this a service animal, right? And then
Right.
the second is what task are they qualified to perform?
Right. And they don't have to show any papers. They don't have to show anything. They just kind of have to.
My third question would be: can I pet your dog?
Yeah, I've never had a problem. Oh, and also, if they do have a service animal and they shed all over your car, you cannot ask for a cleanup fee.
Oh, damn!
Yeah. Now, if it's a non-service
That sucks.
animal and they shed, then you could ask for a cleanup fee.
Yeah, so you might as well. I mean, unfortunately, your customers are not going to always carry blankets with them, so you might as well keep a blanket in your trunk. So just in case.
Well, it's winter, so yeah, you should keep a blanket in your trunk just in case you want to
Sleep in
a
your
nap or
No,
something.
let's. I know where
Well,
he's going with it. Never mind. Let's
Where
not.
am I going with it?
I don't know, Johnny. Where do you think you want to take this conversation?
I was thinking, just in case you want to sleep in your car, is what I was thinking.
You know, episode 77 is just around the corner where you get 8 more.
What is episode 77 all about? I still don't get
Shout
that
outs to
joke.
Joan.
What does 77 stand for?
Shout outs to Kimchi and Coco and Puff.
The whole familia.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't get it.
We're totally messing with you, Johnny.
I know you are. I still don't get
You're
it.
half asleep, so we can do this.
I'm wide awake now, you
That's
mother
funny.
So yeah, I don't know. So I've noticed that drivers been complaining that the business has gone down or slowed down a little bit, which I have to agree on.
Well, I have to say,
Yes.
what time of the month is it?
I'm a man. I don't have periods, Dolph.
Well,
Oh gosh.
you may not have periods, but you know who does? Uber
Who?
and Lyft. It's this thing called the end of the month when
I know that.
rent is due and bills are due on the 1st. So
And
everyone, every driver and their mother are out there trying to make rent or pay bills, and they will do it with any means possible. They will go out there, they will whore themselves, whether it be driving or actual whoring. I don't know.
Oh my gosh, stop. I can't believe you just said that. Hilarious.
Yeah, I don't know. So, tip before we finish this podcast, I always tell people to try to save for a rainy day. Always try to remember that because we're going to have a lot more rainy days this year.
Yeah.
Just letting you know. All right.
Rain.
Anyway.
You might as well change your wipers now.
Oh, good idea. Anyway, thank you for joining us for another not so funny podcast.
Well, you're not.
Hater.
Come on.
All right.
Me and Lonnie were just totally, we nailed it.
Oh, he hates us.
Of course he does.
I'm so happy you guys are having so much fun at my expense. But anyway, always remember to tip your driver.
And don't be creepy.
And please sit diagonally.
Until next time, be careful out there. Drive safe.
Vagina!
For more information about driving for Uber and Lyft, reach out to us on Facebook or visit our website at kingofuber.com.
Hey, I didn't say it this time.